No,
now we can.
Now we can.
Now we can.
Now we can.
Okay, so you can pull your money out?
I think he's
Yes.
delayed.
Yeah, I can.
He's on that 4PF shit.
Okay.
No, you're on like
Yeah,
you're on like
I can
No,
pull
no.
it up.
Send
You're
me
on,
a
Yep.
send me a text later, Klaus.
you're like when I updated my when I uploaded my review the other day for the first time on like 480p, and then of course I had to re-upload it.
Yeah, he's glossy right now.
Dev's in like 4K.
Dev's in like 16K.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And that's crazy because it's like it's coming up on my screen too, is like very clear.
Coach, you bring up some interesting points. I never thought about it that way.
I'm old, man. I appreciate that. I'm not right or anything, but
Nike's going to be doing some NFT stuff apparently.
I got some shit hit me in the face, and you learn hard lessons if you don't fucking. Do they really, Smurf? What they got? I haven't seen them.
I don't know. I was talking to somebody who has some relation to Jordan, etc., and they were talking about like them seriously looking at NFT stuff with like unreleased stuff. Or like the idea seemed very half baked, or like I didn't this person clearly didn't fully understand it. But.
Brandon, you know what I think the play is in the long term, in my opinion, just from from a projective standpoint, is I think you'll see a melding of the two. I think you'll see what some like have already tried to do is combining an NFT with a physical and having the ability to display the NFT of said physical while have said physical in a safe spot. I think that's a pretty logical marry for some of the more expensive pieces as well.
Yeah, I understand that.
I can catch out to answer from before.
Okay.
His money good.
All right, we could get going quick because we kind of really dallied for a little bit.
No, let's get going. It's good discussion, anyways. Smurfy's gonna be doing some show and tell on today's show.
Something
That's
like
gonna
that.
be exciting. We've got a
like
shitload of reviews. We've got some shit coming
high
up.
stakes reviews. And you throw in a sponsor. Smurf, don't you have a clothing company you want to throw in as a sponsor, or what?
Oh, is that what we're doing? Are we sponsored? So then Coach should make his thing like his YouTube channel as the thing.
Yeah, Hendricks Family Investments needs to sponsor for sure.
It needs to invest in BSH.
Well, it kind of is.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
This is kind of true, but I just want food for every live stream, so that's what I'm banking on from High Stakes Reviews personally is
hello
full out catering and test tasting on future. What was it? Who were the guys that did the stream? They did a really good job. They had a set and everything. Smurf, who did that shit?
The GFNF.
Yeah, that's that. So if we ever do something like that, you're fucking bringing steaks, Brandon. Like
no, he's bringing like whole cows, not even steaks. Like
it's not even discussed. It's just this is expectations. I mean,
go to Costco and don't discount Costco. That's a good one. That's a really good pun right there. Don't discount Costco. But they I gotta say, of all the places, if you're telling me I gotta go one place to get steak and make it myself, it'll probably be Costco because they are actually very, very good.
That's just insane coming from you.
No, I'm serious. Like
I believe in you.
Cows.
Yeah,
I have Costco and membership, and I'm just been sleeping my whole life on it. So
yeah.
All right,
what do we got up here, Smurf?
Let's get into it.
Let's see. Now, hopefully, someone hit up in the chat too on the announcements in Discord. Make sure everybody gets their ass in here because we're going over a lot of stuff. A lot of reviews.
I sent an alert.
Everybody always asks questions, so they need to hop up in here and ask some more. And good time for us to answer some stuff. Really. Now, these did literally exactly what we said they would, and it's kind of cool to see. So, if you were in a non-tax state, you probably had a great day.
if you're in a non-tax state and you ever have a bad day, you're just not doing it right.
Yeah, that was a dumb statement by me. Wilson. This is really stupid. All right, yeah. If you're in a non-tax state, you just wake up with a big ass fucking grin on your face. So they're these killed it though from that context. I mean, when you, in my opinion, when you can sell size 8 and 8.5 for, because I take this to eBay, right? Like this is just an easy eBay move, and you could sell those in the 275 plus range on release day, and then we all knew that Bay was going to be the move. I mean, great opportunity to make money. So good timing. What do you guys think about this in terms of? I feel like mid sizes are just stagnation for the most part from here on out, with Bays being a long-term consignment possible, but probably a little bit of stagnation out of them. There's some white coming up, I think, come from Easy, isn't there? And those iridescent ones or whatever it's called.
I think they're like, yeah, they're doing like a 3-pack too, with like the clear one. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like the clear ones.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I mean, yeah, these are unremarkable in any sense. Like it's just like a Yeezy and a Yeezy-esque colorway. So I think your point around stagnation is relatively right. I have nothing to add to it.
Yeah. Gloss, any interest in the local scene on the streets from these?
Not yet. I mean, I basically last week did like we're only 3 months in, but I did kind of like a little store, like started to look at some numbers in terms of like what we're selling in the store and what people are asking about versus relative to like what I'm selling elsewhere and selling at mainly consignment as like the other side of it. And I moved out a ton of Yeezys to consignment.
Yeah.
Like they're not moving for us. Like, just to give kind of a quick numbers breakdown, this is as of Monday. We've sold not in the entire store because I don't have consignor sales on here. It's not a big number, but this is a good enough sample size. So I myself have sold 316 shoes in the store this year, and 144 of them are Jordan, with 98 of the 144 being Jordan 1s. And then next is Nike with 95. And the number one category for Nike is Vapor Waffles with 18 of the 95.
That's pretty awesome because
Yeezy
that's profitable
is 69.
as fuck.
Yeah, and then Yeezy is 69 with 21 350s and 21 700 V3s. And that just, to me, shows with all of the models and SKUs that we have of 350, to only sell 21 of them is a small fraction. Especially 700 V3, you're really looking at 4 different colors because Azale doesn't sell because it's so expensive. And we only had like 1 or 2 sizes in the store. So that's kind of a big spread as you compare it. If I flip to consignment, where I've sold 137 shoes there, 82 of the 137 was Yeezy, and 29 of that 82 was 350s.
And that's so interesting too, because I've known you guys, like I've known Jeff for a long time, and we've gone over numbers and sales for years. And I remember, 3 years ago, like how dominant your sales were with Yeezys. And it's not like you were moving slow volume, like you were moving heavy volume, but it was just so Yeezy dominated. And it was just like, you could have just sold Yeezys, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and had a phenomenal year, not even touching any other model on the market. I bet if I would have told you then that you'd open a store a couple years later and you wouldn't even be moving the motherfuckers in there, it would have been hard to believe. So that just shows how adaptive you have to be in this marketplace. And it's really interesting to hear you give us that data.
This though, I'll just speak for GOAT because I haven't listed any on StockX, even though, well, I'll just keep that to myself. But I've been listing on GOAT, and like Zion's, Bread Yeezys, like they've been flying. Like I sell more Zions. Okay, yeah, maybe I had a little bit of a loss, but I sell more Zions than like almost any other shoe in the last 2-3 weeks, and it's crazy. Like I just can't. I list them at sales. So that's just kind of interesting. Like that's like my highest volume sneaker. and I don't think it's close.
Well, I think what's happening for our end at least is like in a big generality is that Yeezys aren't cool anymore. So what I mean by that is like in the store are big groups of guys, like not just men, just groups of people, is that you have a mix of like street guys that want the not high end fashion, but they want glass case stuff or what's hot. So what's hot is Dunks, Jordan 1s, new releases, and then stuff in the glass case. Sakai's, ready-mades, off-white, that kind of stuff. Where like we're getting a big resurgence now of rubber Dunks all of a sudden. Like I've sold probably 5 or 6 rubber Dunks in the last month. And they
Does
were
the
stagnant for a while.
consign that you put your stuff at still move them a lot?
What, rubber Dunks?
Yeezys.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. The consign numbers, I've sold 20 more Yeezys at consign than in my store, and I've had more Yeezys in my store than consignment. So the numbers are even more glaring when you consider, like, yeah, Jordan 1s would be higher there because I'm keeping the best for me, but it's clear that it's making sense for me to keep them there. Where Yeezys are selling better there, and we had better stock with us, so I moved it all out. But then I think in our store, a new client base that I'm not used to is like the TikTok crowd. And like they are into the trendy thing and they would never wear Yeezys. So they're the ones buying Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s, and Dunks. So it's really having that mix. Those client bases, none of them are buying Yeezys other than 700 V3s. That's the exception to all of this.
Brandon's saying they're going cheap, so.
Right. So at consignment, like Yeezys are a go for sure, and that's kind of the people that are going to go are probably more like people going down there. They like Yeezys; they're cheaper now. And it doesn't matter. They just want something comfortable.
Yeah.
So like Ash Pearls, what our strategy is, and I'll be happy to report it in a couple of weeks. Is like our strategy right now for Yeezy is other new models we're going to keep. So like 450s will stay for sure. And then like 700 V3s will stay. But like when they do the next 350, so Ash Pearls, whatever we got in, we're going to keep in the store for 2 to 3 weeks because it's the most recent model. Then in 2 to 3 weeks, if it's not selling well, we're going to move out 50 to 75% of it and then move out the rest within a month after that. And just keep the newest model fresh and everything else just move to consign or get rid of.
Yeah,
because people are not going back for the 350s. The only exception right now that I feel is breads. They're the only ones that I'm hanging on to sizes. And if they do another like Beluga re-release or Zebras, I'll keep them. But Zebras, like we haven't sold any, and we've had 5 or 6 sizes in the store since opening. So it's just
that's just so interesting. The different markets, man.
Yeah, and I mean you're only talking. Like the city versus the suburbs and like what they get versus what we get. I mean, 380s like sell like hotcakes down there. I sold a pepper for 400 that we had in the store for 315. That's 235 on Goat or on StockX, and they sold it there for 400 in a day.
That's insane.
Yeah, I just want to know for Ash Pearls, like the base sizes kind of started out pretty high for these. Like if you compare with like naturals, those were like 280, 290. Even sand tops, those are like 300, 310, and these are like 340, 350 out of the gate. So in terms of long-term value, this might not see as much growth as the naturals or the sand tops because of how high they started. So
yeah,
like if you currently have these bays, I would like. There's a lot of bulk buyers buying them up right now, so maybe like they can go max $30-$40 more, but I don't see them higher than 400.
This is a good point too, because they could be inflated from a price standpoint because of the stimulus too.
Yeah,
which could make them stagnate for a little while. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. I like that plan there, Dev. It's a good idea. What we got next there, Smurf? Yeah, those Georgetown 3s fucking banged it on the weekend on eBay.
Honestly, on apps too did well. Like they were pretty good on apps.
Were they? I didn't even pay attention.
I feel like they
didn't
didn't
even
drop in a lot of places. The delays like really helped this shoe.
It's exactly what I heard as well, Gloss. It's funny you said that. As I heard it, you know, the inventory that got into hands is just a lot less than it was expected, and good timing, clean look though, right? Like, don't y'all think this is a clean look for a 3? I mean, elephant with a nice navy. I mean, that Georgetown Hoya is in the gray is pretty fucking iconic, really. For certain age groups, like that's why I felt like it was an eBay shoe. You know, I was kind of surprised. That's surprising to me. It did well on the apps because, you know, people 30 plus, 30 to 50 or something that, you know, that's some Georgetown fans in that age group. So fit well at the eBay play. I'm terrible at predicting 3s. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand the model much in terms of demand. It never makes much sense to me. What are y'all thinking on this shoe from a long-term standpoint? I only suggested in the call, just so y'all understand, to go for big sizes. So I didn't even suggest going for any of the lower sizes in general. I think I said 11 to 14 in the call. So based on that context,
I don't know. If we're taking market conditions out of it, obviously we're in like a very hot market with a lot of people spending. I don't know if I love this, you know, because again, we're in that kind of "what have you done for me lately" type thing. I just can't see this being as iconic as a UNC, you know, and as hyped as a UNC. So, you know, that's kind of where, yeah.
I agree. I was gonna say the comp is better to be the Sport Royal 3s because they're similar color blocking. It's just a darker shade.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. And also, like, it doesn't. This was more of like Smurf. I think I saw your picture that you posted a while ago or something with the Michigan 3. This was more of like Michigan. This is more of like a Michigan 3.
It is. It's basically a boneless Michigan 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the yellow or the maize. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to be correct about that maize.
That maize.
Yeah.
Come for it. Yeah.
I would kind of compare these to the Oregon 5 because I don't think they're going anywhere. Like it's another school.
I'd much rather have these than Oregon 5s.
Yeah, I know, but like in terms of like, do they have long term value? No, and it's like associated to like to a university. So.
See, I still think some of the 11. Go ahead, Gloss.
I was gonna say to me, because of how well those blue 3s have moved for me over the last like 9 months, I feel like these are gonna do the same thing. Where I agree with Dev. Like, I don't think that this is one that you're gonna see good value online. But depending on your client base, this could be like a huge banger. Whereas like nobody wanted Oregon 5s, and I can see this one rocking for like a long time. The same way that like I still move blue 3s at 350 all day.
Oh yeah, it's much more wearable. Yeah, for sure. Like if you're the right client base, these definitely moving for the high. But long term value, I don't really see it.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
On to the next.
I think the UNC was more the exception than the rule for 3s.
Yeah.
Speaking of UNC,
how are these tracking, guys? So that's pretty up to date data, right?
That's like data as of 8:27 p.m. something like that.
Shit.
So
this is I'm sorry, this is unbelievable. Am I wrong to be not like I predicted anything that was so drastically different than this, but I mean, there's pairs dropping seemingly every day, and it has not gone below 400 like once.
It's just acting a lot like Mocha. It's acting a lot like
the shoe of the stemmy. It's
you want to pull a clip up of me? You could do that when I said yes, this is going to be the shoe of the year back in, what did I say? January, I said it. If you want to go pull it up, be my guest. All I'm saying is just like, damn, I didn't think it was going to be like this consistent, especially with all these pairs that are coming seemingly every single day. So, am I happy about it? Yeah, kind of. But this is like, this is kind of ridiculous. I don't know how much. I don't know how high I see it going in the immediate future. I just am very impressed with how it's held. Again, we haven't seen under 300 period. I mean, under 400 period.
I mean, there's 15,000 pairs sold, and there's 2-to-1. There's basically, almost a 2-to-1 bid to ask ratio.
That's wild. That's really wild.
My thing is I just think it's playing so similar to the Mocha, where the Mocha just sat there and got 8 up and 8 up and 8 up and 8 up every single opportunity where you thought it was going to dip. And I don't see why this one would. I mean, the Mocha was a perfect release in November because you still had 2 or 3 months of cold left. This is a perfect release now because you still have 2 or 3 months of sun left. Like, and
At least.
And this is like a spring just beauty. So I mean, I think it's just gonna keep, it's been through StockX days where they've been shitting on the price. I mean, I don't see what's gonna take this down. Like, I don't see it. So, but I don't think we're gonna be seeing like big jumps or anything. I think it's just gonna act like the Mocha did and just steadily gobble up and move up slowly and consistently. See, I mean, size 10s in the mid 500s, right? Or 530 or 20, right? With Mocha, something like that. Isn't that right?
So if you have pairs of these, what are you doing?
I would have done what I did from the beginning and recoup costs and keep what I wanted to keep. I would have just broke back at 0 and kept everything for free, basically.
And then when are you looking to sell?
With what it was doing the first day?
Probably school season.
I would have just sold it day of and then, been reassessed. But if you're asking now if you have pairs, I still kind of like selling them now. I just don't, yeah.
I think we get another big boom in September because we didn't have school last year, school entry season.
I think I'd sell and then I'd rebuy if you want to try and time it.
I don't know if it's gonna because the price is so high and so many people because of Mochas, because of whatever are holding these. I don't know if we're gonna see that big boom school time or not. It just feels like by that point.
Boom in what context? Like price context? Because volume's gonna be like a fucking chain.
Yeah. No, there's so many pairs out there and people holding them. It feels like it's going to be one that just is steady within the kind of the range it's in now. I don't know if it's I don't think it's going to get higher than Mocha is at any point. I think it's going to lag from Mochas.
I think I'd agree with that. I think my plan is that I would my plan from the get-go, sold recoup, right? And then just hold steady gain and sell that time period. That might put it at 550 or whatever, but I think it's a safe gainer. I mean, it's going to top out. I agree. It's not like it's going to keep going to the fucking 800 or some shit. Not past Mocha.
Yeah.
How's it going to pass Mocha in the fall, right? Like, it's not going to pass Mocha in the fall. So, I mean, I'm feeling you on that. That's kind of why I would like to unload it during that August period. Really late July through late August is next time period I'm kind of interested in personally.
We'll talk about it at some point, but I think it's also worth thinking about your point around back to school, really exploring that further, just because that's really going to be there's going to be a boom of that, assuming everything goes well this summer.
Huge target of mine. To me, that's the next target post stimmy tax. That is what you will next be building up for. But yeah, that's another topic. We didn't get that last year.
For UNCs, I think the worst is over in terms of pairs dropping and restocks and stuff, because the amount of pairs that foot stores got yesterday, I think that they dropped yesterday was I'd say double what they got on a release date.
Really?
Could you say that again?
Say that again?
No, could you say that again?
The amount of pairs that
your voice just sounded so good on the thing I wanted to hear this.
Clean as fuck. No, that's true though. I didn't know that much volume. That many people? I mean, that many pairs dropped?
Yeah, I mean, the shipments were so delayed that I'm just talking New York wise, some of the biggest stores, they received 30, 40 pair shipments originally, and now they got upwards of 200-300 pairs yesterday.
Wow. And the market's just eating them up with 2-to-1 bid sales. And motherfuckers like that are going directly to StockX to cash out too. So it's not I got this pair, I'm gonna hold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so the price is holding so hard. Do you see what I'm saying? I would have thought that because of this, they would have dipped a little bit.
I think it's true demand.
Yeah,
it's true demand. Yeah, it's true demand. That's exactly right. All right, so these I've been big on. I think we talked about them. Was it 2 weeks ago when we had our last stream? I talked about them as a buy call. I'm still huge on them, guys. If you're able to cash these out, fucking buy pairs. You've started to see people on the TL catch on in the last week, and so therefore I'm reiterating. I think I've seen 2 or 3 want to buy from big buyers. These I personally and made the call. I think I made it. Actually, I didn't even post it. I made a call last night. I didn't even post it because we were going to talk on it today. I personally like the sizes like 8 through 9.5 and 10 as targets. I think me and Gloss have kind of in our past dissected those as being high volume movers, and I think they have some of the really good entries right now, and I think they're going to be continuing to move throughout the rest of the next couple months. I'd be looking to sell these July-ish as well. I don't know. I kind of play it by ear, but I'm thinking 300 plus, no question for these late summer at least. So, or at the latest, maybe going into schools. I think late summer that they'll be back because to me it's just really clean dunk and super wearable with a great entry price. So, and we know there's not tons of pairs of any of these dunks, right? So,
I mean, Asians are paying ask right now, so.
said that they're Dev's like, do we need to even discuss this further? Like next topic. It's like, I mean, well said, Dev. Well said. On to the fucking next. Asians are paying the ask. All right, so and I think Mules was pointing this dip out too. We had a question about these and these Travis, look at him. You listen to me. I got Travis on today. It's hilarious. These top 4. That's why they sell. They're sub, man. They're sub.
Yeah,
so,
but they're like so bad compared to them.
I know.
You know what I was thinking about these before the stream? I was just like, if we're looking at grade school, and I know there's going to come a point where it's just undervalued, period. But I could see why it's dipped so hard due to like I don't know how many girls would really love that look of a colorway. Maybe I'm wrong. It just doesn't strike me as like as feminine of a colorway as a purple metallic is.
I think it's feminine as fuck. It's just
you're
completely
right.
terribly timed.
Gloss, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you, and then I was gonna say the second part is the timing. Like in fall, women may be flocking to this because the mushrooms 4s were absolute dogs, and there's a lot of demand. Like not true demand, but like people are interested in that now. Like people ask me every now and then about mushroom 4s, and like you could add every size you wanted. You probably could have bought the entire stock like you're gonna do for Lightning without any issue.
Well, I hope I know it's going to be a war when I go to try and buy every Lightning available, but we'll see. We'll see how I fare.
No, but that's my viewpoint, man. I think Gloss nailed it. It's just these are so shit timed that we're seeing the effects of that, and I think men and females will be popping these off. Men not as much, but
if I could get pairs for 220 or even 220 to 230 ish. For bigger sizes, I mean, whatever, maybe 5 plus, 4.5 plus. Yeah, 4 sucks. So 4.5 plus.
Yeah,
and
4 sucks.
3.5, 4 has been historically crap in 4s. So I would go for it. I just think there's enough value there.
I agree.
Right now, it's still. I just still think maybe a little bit more room.
Yeah. So some of them. So here's another thing that I think kind of impacted this. Also, I'm looking at the prices I paid in store. I definitely bought some too early because I bought them at the beginning of the month for $280, $275. Not really worried about it, but that was payout at the time. So that happens. But what I think another issue with this one is that when they dropped, I got a ton of girls asking me for these and just had no idea when GS was coming at all. And maybe those people will circle back around later, but they moved on. Whereas, like, had GS dropped on the same day as men's, I think it would be faring better right now.
Good point.
I agree.
Good point. No, I think this is I like Brandon's range, actually. If you can get anywhere near Brandon's range, I think it's an incredibly safe investment for the fall. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel fine with 275 to 280.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
so
feel
do I.
like those were bad buys.
I mean, you can only
either.
do what you're doing in the circumstance, and like you said, you paid cash out at the time. I mean, if I'm paying, like, I would cash these out. I know Brandon's price is optimal. I know that's not going to be like
Yeah.
realistic for a lot of people to grab. I would cash these out probably 240 to 250 right now, and just move on with my life. If it was a target of mine, it's not a target of mine because I'm pretty loaded up right now, but I'd like the target. I think it's a good one. I think it's a really safe fall investment, and it plays in with the school theory that I'm kind of high on personally. What we got next, Smurf?
Your favorite.
Bro, have y'all seen the prices already? Have y'all gone and looked at these already? 12.5's 385 on GOAT.
Ready?
12's 355. 11.5's like 370. Cash these out, guys. I can't fucking tell you enough. If you can get these around 275 to 300, you are literally lighting money on fire, not buying bigger sizes in that price range. I'm not buying anything under 11, but you can bid set with these. I mean, look at the bid sets right now on 11 and 11.5. Everyone in this fucking chat should have a bid up right now. There's literally no reason if you guys buy shoes, you should not have bid up if you're paying tax free, and obviously don't play out of the processing fees and shit. That's why I like the GOAT storage. But when you see shit like that, I mean, it's easy money, guys. It's easy money, and the price is already starting to respond in a positive manner on the medians that you're going to sell this on. Like, I think we said, this is not an app shoe per se. I sold the last ones really well on GOAT, and I think more people do go to GOAT than they do StockX for the shoe. But it's obviously an eBay shoe, and I could literally sell the buys, drop ship the buys I have right now on eBay in profit, and I've bought them in the last couple of weeks. And that's not going to change. Golf is just starting up, and it's going to go hard, and it's going to go fast, and it will be over. So, take advantage of this buy, guys. It's really easy play.
That's a good point, Coach, about golf season starting up.
It's going to hit hard, man. It's about to get pretty.
These are definitely
People are going to want to be outside with friends.
I feel like these are going to have a peak summer and then dip a lot during the winter and then go back up next golf season.
I don't even know that they'll be.
Buy that too.
Do you think there's going to be a winter dip? Like, is that
dip
what happens?
is probably not the right word. I was going to say stagnation is probably the right word.
Not a dip, but like less volume, not as much.
Exactly.
I agree.
Nobody buys shit. People take.
I think if you hold through the summer, you're not going to let the winter dissuade you in terms of like, all right, fuck it, I'm accepting 30% less or whatever it might be.
Yeah, no dip. That was the wrong.
Gotcha.
I think I sold. I don't remember the exact month. I feel like I sold my my Concord 11 low for like $500 in December.
Yeah, December is another nice day because like it's Christmas time and people gear up for the golf season, whatever it might be. Because I remember selling a decent amount of pairs in December. Yeah.
Good shoe, easy money, man. I mean, some of these, you know why these are easy targets? Because how many cook groups do y'all see right now promoting buying this?
None.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why this is an easy target. It's not, people just don't, for whatever fucking reason, still don't have faith in golf shoes after they've been killing it for 3 years. I mean, I don't get it, but I don't really give a shit.
It's literally been consistent too, because it's like you think back to like, was the first one the Chicago one? Is that what they first did? The golf shoe? Whatever it was, since then it's just been the same.
It's
like literally the same playbook every single time.
I'm telling you, there's been two that have shit the bed, and it was that black and green 11 and the fucking brown 3. And it was weird ass ones, and those shit the bed. Yes, those shit the bed. But everything that's been normal does extremely well. Hey, I'm gonna shut up now.
Hey.
Put yourself on the big screen, Smurf.
Oh, wow. The big leagues. Oh, wait.
I'm just so interested to hear about the materials because they look flawless on pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're like, I've worn them a couple times, but they're really nice. Like, beautiful shoe, whatever. First personal of the year. But yeah, they did like a really good suede. Like, I don't know. you get the shoe in hand and you just have a little bit of faith in the world.
There's quality around some corner of Nike.
Yeah. But what do we think about these? Because I think my personal judgment is clouding my potential opinion of the shoes. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I'm just not the best with Air Maxes. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Jeff?
Well, do you know stock at all, Jeff?
No, I don't. I don't know stock. I don't think I'll be able to get it.
Yeah,
There's been a big clamp down after the West Coast streetwear thing about information. With just like cross stuff. So they're like keeping tabs on a lot of things they used to not care about. And it's kind of irrelevant to what happened. And like they're just not believing Marcus Jordan exists. Like that didn't happen, yet they're cracking. It's so stupid. But whatever. Anyway, I think with these that it's hard to say because it's a really dope colorway, but are people like in this climate, are people going to care about this shoe? And it just feels like the last 18, 24 months, Air Max, since like, I'd say not the peak ever, but like the recent peak of like Wotherspoon, like it's kind of been downhill from there. Whereas like you had the Air Maxes in 2019, other than Shanghai, they were mostly dogs in terms of like resell, and like those 98s were so I thought they were nice, the New York ones, but they were panned. Last year, like nothing even happened. Like it was like camo shit. So there hasn't been like in 2018 you had the 270s that were really popular. There hasn't been like a new Air Max model that's come out. Like last year it was just Travis was the big one. So I just don't know. Like it's iconic to us that have been in the game so long, and like it's a shoe that I always wanted. So I'm very happy that they're re-releasing it. But I don't know. Like, do you think it could be like the Atmos Elephants? Because they came out and they were 300 to 400, and then they like it's not. It just doesn't have that same. Air Maxes aren't what they were then, and I don't think this colorway is what the Elephants are then. If it was, it would have won the vote. And it didn't.
And I think it's just that like the Atmos speaks for itself in a way that like you don't need to know anything about shoes and you think that shoe's really cool. Whereas I don't know that the Bacons immediately do that for the average person.
No, it's a clean colorway, and they did a really good job on it, and that's kind of it. Like if they released it as a GR, like how many people even know what DQR mean or GQM means?
Yeah, facts.
What are you gonna say, Deb?
So like I do sell a lot of Air Maxes. That's like something I've been selling a lot of bulk in past year. I do come across pairs from 2017, 2018, and those sell very well for me. Even though like you would expect no volume on such an old model, those older Air Maxes like do sell pretty well for me, even sometimes better than newer ones. So I think we're underestimating like the potential of the shoe.
Get them, Dev.
Well, I mean, there's 3 levels to it. Like going to buy it at retail, of course, we're gonna do, and then it's if you do get it at retail, are you selling it release date or are you holding? And then the third thing is, is there a number that you could think of that if it hits that target, you're cashing them out? Like if they come out and it's like 190, 200, do you think that's worth cashing out, or is that the true demand?
I think we're gonna see a spike on release date, to be honest.
I like it. I might let fucking Deb just write this call up.
I don't know.
This guy's feeling
we'll see what happens release date, but I think I'm pretty sure it'll spike.
I like the mix of both the points. I think you guys both make good points. I mean, I think this is a challenging one to put your finger on, and it's got a lot of mitigating factors involved in it. So I think it's going to be an interesting one to watch. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to analyze both price and volume action as the week continues.
It's also interesting. I'm looking at the production date on the tag because these were initially supposed to drop last year, and this pair was made in whatever the 8th month of 2020 is. I'm bad with months right now. Sorry about
August.
that. But
August.
Yeah.
January, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, August. But yeah, so that's just something that's interesting because I'm pretty sure these were like fully supposed to release last year, whatever. And I guess Corona would have. Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense actually because January in China was when. But actually, the shoe would have been ready in like
No,
way earlier
yeah,
than that.
I think that maybe there was like it was always going to come out this year, but maybe the rumors started last year. So with the style codes, people thought it was going to drop last year, kind of thing.
Interesting. That makes more sense. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
I like
I'm
the
all in
plays.
for me, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Like
it's going to
it'll
be
be
interesting to
curious
watch.
see next week how many people like when we have our call next week. In that time, how many people have hit me up for them and or purchased them from me? Like
So,
it's
Jeff, though,
very possible. I think it's zero.
Don't you think though, Jeff? Like this is just. I mean, I'd say a lot. People probably get annoyed, but don't you think this shoe fucking reeks of eBay? I mean,
Yeah,
like
100%.
it just
100%.
reeks
Yeah.
of eBay. I mean, it's like, hey, this might be the easiest printer of the weekend. You know.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same way that like I have my shoes that like I know bang for me in my store and my clients. The same way that there are certain shoes that are great for eBay. That's just this is a shoe that has a fan base to it, so of course it's great for eBay.
Yeah.
Like and it caters towards an older crowd.
I don't think
not necessarily age, just like time in sneakers, where that those people are I feel like are more likely to use eBay anyway.
Yeah, I'm just not like so sure that like our crowd like takes that into guaranteed context like we do, right? Like
Fair
they
enough.
might hear us say, "Oh, you know, this on the app," and not realize that just because we think that doesn't mean we don't think like this shoe is gonna smack in certain markets. That's kind of why I brought that up, but
Fair enough.
for sure. What's next?
I don't have slides, but
You don't have slides.
We should definitely talk about these 700s and these foam runners. Foam runners are going to be my second personal of the year.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Those are the marble ones, right? They're like marble.
There's the marble
Which
and
color?
the sand. Both.
Which one are you going for?
I want both for the toe. Both.
Wow.
That's really
unfortunate.
Oh,
the kyanites. Oh, I forgot about the kyanites. Yeah, I'm glad you said something about those. Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but okay. I wish you guys the best. I wish meeting you guys. I hope you guys are happy together.
I heard that you get an NFT with it, Brandon.
Yeah.
This is just what I heard.
If someone made an NFT not 700 NFT foam runner, I mean, just the crap that's being put out there.
I mean, that's just right up your alley. I think you should.
I don't personally. I'll take a Lightning 4 in my hands that I could actually wear. Good luck. You're gonna find a way to outlogic me. Good luck wearing an NFT, unless you get that like on your arm or something.
I can already see the Brandon flex pick in the Lightning 4s with like fake lightning bolts coming down, like hitting the ground near his shoe, like
like a 2012 edit where they had like the random ass filters.
Yeah.
Like it
Gloss,
looks like
what are the
It
sorry,
looks
go
like
ahead, Brandon.
It looks like it's nighttime, even though it's like 2 p.m. in the day, and they have the lightning bolt coming down. But, yeah.
Exactly.
What are the sizes that you're seeing as most profitable for the V3s, the 700s? Profitable volume, etc. Like
for us in the store, I mean, I can tell you based on pull up what we've sold this year under V3s. I can tell you the sizes.
What's the most? What's too much to pay for auto checkout? Like if you're doing.
Are you sure you want to play this game? Sure.
No, because I've learned my lesson. If Gloss comes out here and says 50, I just won't have anyone running me tomorrow. It's okay.
So I sold 25 700 V3s this year, and it's pretty evenly spread, except there's 5 11s. It's like 2 5.5s, 2 7.5s, 2 8.5s, 2 9s, 2 9.5s, 2 10s, 5 11s, 3 12s. So it's pretty evenly spread. No 6.5s, no 6s, and then it goes up. No 13s. So I don't really think that there's like a true indicator I can see there.
Buy all.
But I would say for me, definitely though, if you look at it, it's the men, not base size, because I've sold 4 between 5.5 to 7.5, and then there's 2 of 8.5 through 10 of each size.
And it's like been
And
like that
5'11".
even going back to the Alvas. Remember, like the Alva Bays came out like shit, and I made a buy call on them because they rose off that.
Safflowers went up big in base size. Arzuris held flat, and then Clay Browns went up. So I don't think that to me, it's one of those things where you buy a full size run. If like I wouldn't focus on one group of sizes, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
hit the random on the buy.
These are right. They're a little more unpredictable, the V3s. Whereas like you've seen now a mix of like some that have done better in really big, some that have been better in base, some that have done better in small. Where I think that you're better off just running what you can get, and it just kind of like seeing how it goes size wise.
Good shit.
Would you say the same is true for the foam runner?
So last time, the big sizes like crushed 12, 13. They were like unicorns 13 and 14. And I feel like people are going, when that happens, one, I'm guessing that they're going to even the allocation more this time. Whereas, like, for example, in the Suns, like the 700 V1s, a 13 is like $1,000. Whereas, like, some of the other sizes are like 450 or 500. Whereas in the creams, it's completely flipped, and 13 is the worst size. So it can't be a demand thing. It's got to be a stock thing there. It doesn't really make sense like about that. So I think with foam runners, they're probably gonna make it regress more to a normal run here, and I think that people are probably gonna run heavier on the like. Remember with slides last year that when slides dropped the April run, small sizes were shit. Like it was all the big sizes. Like nobody wanted 4, 5, 6, 7.
Small.
And then by the end of it, those were the better sizes because women wanted it, and it flipped completely. Whereas, like, I could see that happening with the foam runners again here, where like it flips, and then the small sizes end up running it up compared to the big sizes, and it'll be interesting to see if that holds comparatively. Because like right now online, a 13 and 12 are still more expensive, but is that an indicator of true demand? But it's also really important though, is like you gotta remember where you sell. Whereas like for us, like a 9 is 410 and a 13 is 557. But like it's a lot more likely for me to sell a 9 for 5 because I have so many guys who come in that wear a 9 than it would be to sell a 13 in the store for 6.
For sure.
Like relative to where the market is right now is what I mean.
For sure.
So again, it's the beginning of this where I would still say maybe knock out 4 and don't run for 4, but I would go 5 to 13 in foam runners too and see where this one lands. Because I could definitely see it one of those things where like people run mainly 11 through 13. And then they get forgotten, and all of a sudden, like, oh shit, a 5 is the best size now. I don't understand.
Yeah, facts. No, that's a great point about the production being maybe the differentiating factor instead of the actual demand, and then how they might play off that. So,
you guys remember when there were like no size 12 Earth 350?
Yeah.
And then everyone tried going for size 12 next drop.
How'd that go for him?
12s have been horrible since. Absolutely terrible.
Terrible. Dev, you got anything you want to roll over with the mids before we head out of here? I think that's about all we were going to cover, but if you want to throw in some.
Someone did ask specifically about paint trip mids, lows. I mean, those are extremely high in GS. Mids are starting to like get lower a bit, but we're seeing like not a lot of stock is being released yet. For the lows, we're not really reaching a buy-in price yet for those. They still have a long way to go before we buy in, and I think it's definitely not feasible 200 plus buy-in. And For the mids, those are actually getting a little low, but I think we could still see a little bit more of dip before we begin our buys. But other than that, I mean, you guys know what to do. Like, I see you guys walk into the stores. It's like pretty self-explanatory at this point. Any questions, just hit me.
They do kill it walking in the stores, don't they? Jesus.
Yeah. Any specific questions, just hit me. I'll respond within a few hours. Any specific call requests, I'll do within 1 to 2 days. So.
Appreciate it, Dev.
All right,
Appreciate you, man.
I got two quick things.
Go ahead.
One, for sure, they're not mid related, but still in the same kind of.
Oh shit, Supreme too, Jeff. Sorry.
Well, we can talk about that next. But black and white dunks, I think that they're gonna run up like, could be St. John's levels and maybe surpass St. John's. Could go Kentucky, Syracuse, because the demand for them is dumb. And even when I wanted to buy for the store last week, I bought a bunch on StockX. I threw in bids at like 2. I have it in front of me. Like I bought an 8.5 W at 227, a 7 at 252. I bought them in the 240s to 260s, and like 8.5 now lowest ask is 260. 6.5 I bought at 211 is now 249. 5.5 I bought at 228 is 285. 7 I bought at 194 is 239. 7 men's 241, 284 now. 11.5 I bought at 241, lowest is 296. And like that happened in 11 days.
And that's pretty
like
big too,
GR,
because
like,
we have a lot of data on them that was consistent price action for a hot minute. So
yeah, and I just think that when you factor in all this thing, like dunks have not been coming out yet as much as we thought they would in terms of like realistic of obtainability, and this is the one of all of them, because this is just your basic black and white we always talk about. Is the easiest to wear, men, women, it doesn't matter. So keep an eye on that one. I think it could run up 354 quick, and people are like, oh shit, I didn't even see this one coming. And then the next thing is and then it was more of a question. Do you think that 450s, the clouds, are an alien situation, or do you think that they're an Azale situation? Because the context is that aliens were hype. They came out, they were like 500, whatever, 600, and then they came out with a ton of releases after that nobody cared about, and that was it. And aliens have been flat ever since, but nobody really gives a shit.
I think the smartest thing that they're doing is bringing the black pair, like ASAP. I think that's where the other ones failed.
For 700 V3,
they didn't bring it ASAP though, right? Or am I wrong?
No,
like I feel
January
like
to December. It was December to March.
Oh, okay.
But remember
December to March.
They released
well, I'm wrong then.
After Aliens, it was like Mist or Pepper or something like that, right?
Mist was next, yeah.
Yeah, but
they also did a reflective and a non.
Yeah, on release day, those were terrible. Like they were like hovering at retail on release day, so everyone knew like, yeah, we're gonna stay away from this, and that's how we began to know the model was dead.
Right.
So I mean, these foam
right, but the 450s are so. Yeah, and the 450s are so different.
Yeah.
Like they're just so unique looking that it's. I just could see this one running up too, because people may like. There really is no substitute for it. The closest thing would be a 700 V3, and we know how they're performing across the board. There's like real demand on that.
I mistook the 450s for the foam runners.
Got you.
Yeah, but no, either way.
Are those comfortable gloss?
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable. They're very tight. Like I'm in a 12, and it's just very tight form.
All right, guys.
Coach, you want to talk
that's a good
Supreme,
one,
I guess, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll talk Supreme and then wrap it up. Appreciate it, Dev. You can head out, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah, what's the word for Supreme? And then we'll finish this up.
So this we talk about it all the time with Adidas, and then more recently with Jordan about like seasonality and when they're dropping colors and models. Like, why is Yeezy dropping their next boot, which I think is really cool that they're doing something pretty unique with like that blue bottom with the taupe top. April.
Yeah. We're losing them.
Like they just do this. So this is the first time I've seen Supreme really do this. Like, why are they dropping a Nupsy jacket in April? Like we talk about how North Face dies in the summer, and like they're not, but typically it's like they drop lighter jackets at least. Whereas like dropping a Nupsy, which normally drops in the fall, I'm guessing it had to have been production delays. It's the only thing that makes sense. Where it just maybe they did something else. Maybe the faux fur jackets were quicker to make, and they just threw them out there instead of this, or whatever the reasoning is. It just like doesn't make a lot of sense. And like that, I really like the tee and the hoodie, but again, that looks like a winter piece.
Yeah.
Like, why is that dropping now? So it just not worries me, but like I guess there isn't a lot of energy around it anyway. There's a lot of releases this week, but definitely like be prepared to either flip it tomorrow and make $20-$30 or hold it and hope that this is one that people really like going into the fall. I mean, Supreme North Face in general has been laggy in the last year, but it just seems like the timing of it with releases and weather is like you gotta know your market or be willing to really like, I'm gonna let this one rock and I feel good about it.
Yeah. I hear that. It's weird.
I mean, like, I don't know. I guess retail is probably in the 4s or something, but like, wouldn't you rather buy a UNC on StockX right now than buy a North Face Nupsy at retail tomorrow?
Yes.
100 million times out of 100 million times.
Million times. I agree.
So,
no, I appreciate that, Gloss.
So to
Good
me,
points.
it's like a no-go.
Yeah, and even if you want to speculate on this, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that even if you want to speculate on this, there's no point in buying it now instead of just like cashing out in like August, paying slightly higher and making your money work for you between now and August.
Yeah, facts.
Correct. And I'm sure we'll see StockX seller fees where somebody in June had it cooped up for 3 months and sees it a bid that gets them retail and just takes it or whatever, or below retail and just cashes out.
Jumps that shit. Absolutely.
Like yeah, the timing is bad. It's not like I can't even really see what it looks like from the pictures. It just is like definitely be super wary of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And we didn't get military camp hats yet, so no hats for this week.
Appreciate the update, Gloss. You guys check that out. Should give you any. If you have any other questions, obviously just DM us. Covered a lot today, though, so good stream, guys.
Yep. Good stream, everybody. Thank you guys for sticking through with us. Have a great weekend and good luck on these releases.
He said, "What about this hoodie?" One sec, real quick.
Is he talking about the Supreme North Face one?
Yeah, I'm guessing. I think that you're better off buying the hoodie or the tee than that, but I think the design is really dope. But again, it's not like Supreme North Face apparel hasn't really done well. Like, I don't think tee has done anything. The turtlenecks like are fine. I mean, they're dope to me, but I mean, yeah.
What about that mountain?
It's not expensive.
Is like the mountain climber tee still a thing? Is that still hitting?
I mean, maybe, but like, is there demand there?
Right.
That was also like years ago. Yeah.
They might sell 2 of them a year.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts.
So it's
right.
It's a safer play for sure.
Appreciate the question, Cody. All right, guys.